Hello everyone, welcome back to Path of Spirals Tarot. If you're here clicking on this video today, it's most likely for you. Have a look. Which of these images is really standing out for you? That's how Spirit speaks to you to help get a message your way. We're doing the Healing Tarot spread today. It's going to be a 6-card pull where we will be pinpointing what in your life needs to be healed, what's blocking your healing, what your spirit is craving, what energy do you need to embrace to facilitate healing, and what the outcome of all that focus will be. I also am a Reiki practitioner, so we will infuse some Reiki into the reading as well. I like my readings to be readings, but also healing sessions. I like to be like, two birds, one seed, one big seed for two birds that need to be fed. We're using the Animal Spirit deck today, an oldie but a goodie by Kim Kranz. And today, your signifier is just choosing, are you feeling the dolphin, the wolf, or the buffalo? Dolphin will be group 1, wolf will be group 2, buffalo will be group 3. And then we will, like I said, facilitate some Reiki in here. My name is Claire. If you're new around these parts, I make 5 videos a week. Every weekday I have a video, whether it's a short or if it's a long form pick-a-pile reading. That's my typical jam these days. So if you like that consistency, please feel free to hit the subscription bell. And if you like this reading or feel like you have a friend that would really benefit from the types of readings that I give or a specific message in this reading, please feel free to share because sharing is caring. I'm officially 1 month into my channel, so if you're finding me, I'm also quite a new channel. However, the energy behind the channel has been tapping in for a long time. This is just my newest endeavor. Okay, without further ado, group 1, the dolphins. Dolphins indicate a treasure or a boon on the way. Dolphins are also super, super intelligent. The colors here are also very pastel-like. It's very Taurus, it's very Libra, it's giving a bit of Gemini coloring as well, maybe a little Aquarius. The wolf has a lot of sacral energy to it, being the lone wolf or the leader of a pack. The buffalo is giving a lot of like yang energy and grounded earth energy. So we have a water card and 2 earth cards as our signifiers today. If you feel like all of the cards are calling to you, have a moment or, put this video on in the background while you clean your house or just hang out. If there's just one video in particular you want to listen to or one part of this video, check the timestamps in the description to listen to your specific reading, okay? So without further ado, I call in highest source energy, highest timelines, angels, archangels, my ancestors and guides that are helpful to me, that bring me my highest good, consenting to work with yours across a Kairos timeline for a timeless reading that will leave you with more immaculate vibes, a cleansed aura, and just feeling better and grounded in yourself at the end of it, okay? Without further ado, Group 1, my dolphin, is going to get their reading first. All right, Group 1, thank you so much for tuning in, my dolphins. Your Healing Tarot spread today is going to bring you lasting energy, meaningful shifts, and a positive vibe going into the next weeks, months, rest of the year. What needs healing right now is going to be the camel. How you balance internal and external resources. Think about how like the camel lives and thrives in the desert because it is really good at storing resources for a later time. It keeps the water inside of its hump and they can go very long distances with very little resources. So this tells me there's something about your ability to be in survival mode and also bringing different life experiences together. They seem somewhat fragmented for you. And that's the part of you that needs to be healed. The part of you that can hold multiple truths at once. The part of you that can let seemingly unrelated facets of life actually coalesce together to make a more indefatigable and evolved version of yourself. Things feel a little scattered, fragmented, and burnt out. And that's the part of you that we want to focus on in the reading. So what's getting in the way of this specific energy? Oh, hello. The butterfly. Okay, the butterfly is obviously an air card. It's fleeting. It's a fast-moving, ethereal little being, but it flits around maybe too much. It's telling me that there's a scatteredness to your mind and an inability to dig in deeply to meaningfully pull out an experience. It sort of feels like dissociation, distraction, and flitting about. That's what's blocking your healing right now. Butterflies are elusive, but if they're elusive to themselves, they're not getting super far. So what is your body, spirit, heart craving right now? What does it need for replenishment? Tiger. It needs you to sit in the darkness. It needs you to sit there long enough so that you feel comfortable and at peace with your darkness. There needs to be shadow integration, dream work, maybe starting with writing down dreams. And when you start to do any type of shadow work, and if that's a newer term to you, that's something I would really recommend you look up and start integrating into your life slowly, with respect for your psyche and for the changes shadow work can bring. But integration of the shadow is going to help these two symptomatic issues that you're having, okay? The tiger is a beautiful creature, and it is very at peace in the night, in the dark, with limited senses, because the other senses come online. Your healing comes from tapping into a primordial, arcane, and ancient wisdom that seems to be scaring you a little bit, or you're distracting yourself from. A lot of times when we're having a general sense of fear of the world, we're externalizing a fear of our own subconscious and our own power. What energy do you need to embrace for healing? The cheetah, another animal. So this is more fire. You have two fire cards that are great for your healing. So cheetah is fast-paced, but it has a goal. It's almost like pointed at its goal, and it's going for it with all of its senses. It's not halfway in or halfway out. It's also an apex predator, right? It goes for what it wants. The way that it exists in the hierarchy of the plains, the African plains, is there's not much hunting it. It is the hunter. There's nothing hunting towards it. It just is. It's at the top of the food chain. You know what I mean? It's not the bottom. And it has a focus energy. Also, you see all this root, sacral, and solar plexus energy radiating out of it. And you also have that same kind of energy here. So there's this sort of root, sacral, solar plexus energy that we're calling in for you, sort of healing for that. And I think we can also send a little Reiki energy your way for those specific chakras at the end of this, okay? Okay. How can you support your healing journey? It's your fifth card. Tarantula. Jump scare. So the tarantula is obviously flitting about. It's a bit of a spooky jump scare of a card, but sometimes that's just what you need, okay? I'm going to just pull. You have another fire card. All the fire cards are helping you here today. So let's see. Where is the tarantula? Tarantula. It's a crossroad in claiming life's purpose. When it's in balance, you're following your intuition. So what's going to support your healing journey is listening to your intuition. As cliche as that sounds, sometimes it's easier to hear than it is to actually listen to that advice. That's a lot of what spirituality is, guys. It's somebody saying, well, meditate. You're like, well, don't you have anything more profound? The profoundness lies in simple techniques. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy, okay? And for you to listen to your intuition, that comes from integrating the shadow. Because I also feel that this grouped reading here needs to understand that if you don't know the difference between intuition and anxiety, you have to start with shadow work first. Because once you've integrated the parts of yourself you're afraid of, you raise your frequency out of those lower vibrations, and they can't distort the higher frequency messages. Because your intuition is probably going off all the time, but there's this chaff of other lower frequencies because you have to do this healing work. Okay? So you need to follow your intuition. You do that by listening to these other cards in sequence, okay? Now the last is going to be, what is the outcome if you fully embrace your healing, guys? The outcome. Feeling a lot of it in my stomach. The fish. We have somebody who's more at peace within the waters of their emotions and their subconscious. See, we had lots of fire, air, all of that leads to somebody who's more integrated spiritually and emotionally. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about the fish. The fish is going to be adaptable and traveling well, okay? This fish energy will be brought into balance when you set small goals and accomplish them. So over this journey, I want you to see small wins as huge wins. Don't see this version of yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Don't just be staring at that outcome every day and being like, oh, I'll never get there. All of the little drops in the bucket that will get you there is in this fish energy of letting the small wins come day by day. Because when you shift your trajectory, say for example, you're out flying in space, you change your trajectory 1 degree. You start going in that direction 1 degree. It doesn't feel like you've changed your direction that much, except for when time has passed, 1 degree difference. If you go far enough out into space, it's going to be so far away from where you started. Imagine 15 degrees, 20, 30 degree direction away from where you were, day after day after day. With consistency and discipline, you will be a completely different person. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's give you a Reiki Oracle card, okay? I'm also Reiki certified, so I'm also infusing into my readings here. Reiki, energy, universal love and healing. I see it, okay? We have the Dashingu Tatsu, Dancing with the Dragon. Okay, I'm going to read from my Oracle book for you guys, okay? That's the 3rd card on page 28. The Dashingu Tatsu card represents Dancing with the Dragon. This card represents sovereignty, authority, wisdom, skill, and storms. Japanese dragons are believed to be serpent-like creatures that have the ability to alter their size at will or become invisible. This could mean the inquirer has the abilities of a shaman, that he can alter his consciousness at will or throw his consciousness into another form. It is a symbol most aligned, in Reiki with the attainment of the Reiki mastership. The Reiki master becomes a living master alchemist who is capable of transmuting energy with the sacred power of the breath. Storms or trouble are where's my English? Storms or trouble in any part of our lives are a natural part of our being human. Choosing how to weather our storms is key. If we are indeed masters of ourselves, weathering storms is academic. Now you have the same kind of coloring here with this card as your cards that facilitate healing, what your body is craving. A dance with the dragon. Now, this dragon is giving fiery energy, but its serpent-like qualities tell us it can also live in water, and it also has the blue flowing through it as well. Now, I'm not saying the end goal of all of this is for you to become a Reiki master, but what a Reiki master signifies is this sort of mastered shamanic energy. I can feel almost this fleeting energy you have, this sort of etheric energy when it's not in its shadow, when it's actually integrated, tells me that you're a great shapeshifter. You have a really vivid imagination and a potentially very powerful psychic abilities, right? But that's when it's integrated. A lot of the same color in here as here as well. It's almost like these two are very akin, but this is when it's integrated. This is an unintegrated energy. So I call in healing Reiki energy for you. I call in beautiful energy sending your way to ground you in these chakra, these root, sacral, solar plexus chakra energies. Feel like they need a good boost of energy and attention paid to them. So I'm sending that your way right now. All right. Thank you, group one. Okay. Okay, I think this is going to be all right. We'll figure it out. Hello, group 2. If the wolf was calling to you, let's figure out what your healing is going to look like today. Our first card is going to indicate what needs healing right now for you. I shuffle these real good, okay? Like we need a real good shuffle. Okay, I see. The card that needs healing. The frog. The frog is about resting, relaxing, and because it's amphibious, it lives both in the water and on land. But if it's on land for too long, it needs to go to water. If it's in water for too long, it needs to go to land. Where are you in your life where you need to either take a break from deep emotional excavation or being too much on land, quote unquote, superficially moving, laterally, being drained by people? Let's figure out where that energy is exactly lying. So what's blocking your healing from being able to navigate between these waters and take a rest from one thing or another? What is blocking group 2's healing? See it? The octopus. All right, okay, this already tells me that you're too much in the water. The octopus is about obviously going to depths with people, going to great lengths for people emotionally, but it's also about emotional enmeshment. It's about being too overly involved in the karma of other people's lives, wanting to help them, wanting to be connected to them in ways that are perhaps unhealthy, too entangled, too oppressive to the other person, and too disenfranchising for you. That's what's blocking it. So what is your body, heart, and spirit craving on this spiritually healing journey? The phoenix rising from the ashes. This represents the root chakra. This is a powerful card to be born again, but to also be secure in your own self. So any trauma work that can be done around the root chakra will help a lot. It's almost like you have been using these two things to maladaptively cope with some type of base core trauma or wound that happened a long time ago. And that will require you, when you go through this, is going to require you to reinvent yourself, because maybe you don't really know who you are when you're not giving and overly investing in other people. That's a part of you that you don't yet know, but your spirit is craving and is likely going to happen regardless. What energy do you need to embrace for healing and to embrace this phoenix energy? The owl. The owl is wise, resolute. It's an air animal. It is a spirit animal. Something tells me that you need to tune in a little bit to the guides around you to facilitate this change. You have one bird, like the phoenix bird, and then the owl. You need wisdom and discernment within that wisdom. That's going to be energy that embraces, that helps you embrace your healing. Is there anything else we could say about the owl? Let me have a look here. Owl's pretty far back here, I think. Clairvoyant treasures. It is a generous and trusting, secure energy, representing clairvoyant and treasures. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do when treasure comes your way. Okay, so something tells me when you really make this shift, some energies are going to fall away, but you're also going to replace these energies with something far better. Better people. When you're more secure in yourself, that will be reflected in your outer reality. So don't take on an idea of scarcity mindset as this change is happening. How can you support your healing journey? The deer. This is about self-mothering, kindness, and compassion. The deer is a very maternal energy. It's a grounded maternal energy. And guide that energy towards yourself. Don't just give it outwardly, but give it to yourself inwardly. How can you give yourself kindness and compassion and understanding for your inner child? That will be supportive to you. What will be the outcome if you fully embrace this healing? The hyena, but I'm going to read it in reverse, which is a good thing. Okay, so the hyena upright can represent spiritual bypassing, using comedy to sort of deflect from a situation. But when it's in its upside down form, that's actually a good thing. So I'm going to keep it. It is charming, witty, and fun to be around. Bring it into balance with sobriety or sobering truths, okay? So the outcome is going to be somebody who's light on their feet, and it's like you're almost going to look back on this time in your life with a type of reverence for the lessons that you had to learn. And that you will be more secure in yourself and more at peace with yourself and a little bit more cunning and transactional with people, but in a good way. You'll be looking out for your own interests more than just being depleted from giving to other people. So the hyena, depending on surrounding cards, can be a very not good card to have. It's a bit of a predator, it's a bit of a trickster, but it is a good medicinal energy to counteract the lessons of where you have to go and like what will be on the other side of that for you. Okay? Now let's pull one Reiki card. Let's infuse some actual healing into this reading today, as I'm Reiki certified. That can help tie together this whole reading. We have the Master of Trade female, Hawayo Takata. I'm going to read it for you first, and then I'll send some Reiki your way before I have you on your way. Hawayo Takata is going to be page 40. Hawayo Takata is the Reiki master teacher who brought Reiki to the West. The Hawayo Takata card represents a female who is the master of her trade. She excels in whatever occupation she chooses, healing, teaching, etc. She has learned how to obtain oneness with all that is. She's a helper and a giver. She's also a pioneer willing to extend what she's learned and share her discoveries with others, regardless of their positions in life. This card can also represent someone who's a healer, kind, peaceful, filled with love, yet humble, well connected to her higher self and the creator. This card could indicate that the inquirer already has a ministry, or she's ready to create one. It can also mean that a female teacher is coming into the inquirer's path. We must remain open to learn from those who cross our paths. Even masters have more to learn on their journey. Jumped out to me is that there might be somebody coming to help facilitate this change. To become a phoenix, that's no small task. Okay? I'm going to send some Reiki your way. Just sit in meditation with me. We're sending healing to the parts of yourself that are emotionally wounded, and we're sending a good blast of energy to your root chakra. All right, group 3, thank you for being here with me today. My buffaloes, the ones who weather the storm with grace and ease and groundedness. Let's see what your healing says today. What needs healing right now? That's our first card, group 3. What needs healing? Oh, I saw it, but it was a little slippery. There it is. Okay, being at peace with calm and oneness in the dark. Being tapped into the primal lunar forces that allow you to be at peace with limited sight of the physical world. Letting go of the physical world's desires and materialism and being at peace with primal lunar forces is what needs to be healed inside of you. What is blocking this healing for the buffalo? I already feel a sense of great indecisiveness with these cards. The golden egg. Okay, what's blocking is you not listening to your heart. The golden egg is the heart chakra. There's a wound in the heart chakra that's making it hard for you to be at peace with the symbology of lunar forces. It's making you very earthbound And there must have been something that happened that has wounded your heart. Okay. What is your body, heart, or spirit craving? Okay. It's craving the swan, something more delicate and close to the water. The swan is somewhat alluring, slightly prophetic. At the top of my head, I'm trying to remember. Swan's relatively high up here. Swan, yeah. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, or lacking vision. Bring it into balance with solo time and writing. So your body is craving solo time, creativity, writing, and any type of energy that helps you tap into your creative magic. It's almost like you haven't made any time for it. I sense a little bit of depression. I sense a time in life that has made you feel creatively suppressed. So this reading and healing session today is going to help unblock that for you, okay? What energy do you need to embrace for healing? The deer. The same one as group 2. This is about maternal, doting, caring energy that you internalize, okay? This is, think about the maternal archetype inside of you, the caring archetype, the gracious, patient energy. That's what's needed in this creative time. To be kind and caring as hard things come up for you in your alone time. That's the energy you need for healing. What's an energy that can support your healing journey? The raccoon. This is more about creative prowess. The raccoon is about being creative. More creativity. There's big emphasis on being creative. The dark side of the raccoon is being creatively blocked. That is what I'll say to that. So it's talented and shadowy and in hiding. It says make new work. You can support your healing journey by making new things. Otherwise, you're going to be competitive and feel like a starving artist, when really you are an exceptional artist. Make more things, y'all. What will be the outcome if you fully embrace your healing, group 3? Oh boy, what's the outcome? Firefly. Somebody who gets more creative downloads and synchronicities. The creative energy will only increase. Something to look out for is taking that creative spark for granted and thinking it'll always be there when really it will go to somebody else. So seize the moment, carpe diem with the energies that are going to start being uncovered in your life. And don't be surprised when one of your spiritual gifts is being so tapped into that creative realm. I almost feel there was like a heartbreak or something. Something really harmed your heart. You really went through something difficult. I sense grief. I sense heaviness. I feel almost like a drowsiness. That's just been keeping you low. So we're going to send you energy that's going to pull you up out of that space today. Let's pull one Reiki card before we give a little Reiki energy. We've pulled Shinpai Suna. Worry not. Don't be worried. Don't be in your head about your art. Just make stuff, you know? I'll read it to you. Shinpai Suna, worry not, page 80. The Shinpai Suna card represents the act of worrying. Worry doesn't provide any benefit to any given situation. It doesn't help get rid of problems. It only causes stress and tension in the body and mind. If you worry about someone else, the blueprint goes out, the blueprint comes back. Worry is a waste of time and effort. Pick a 10-minute window per day, and for 10 minutes, allow yourself to worry. When the time is over, do not worry. Only you can control your worrisome thoughts. See your life as smooth, peaceful, and serene. Obviously, easier said than done, but worry is worship of the future. And we don't want to worship anything other than the source energy, okay? Right? So don't worry. Better days are coming, better times are coming, okay? So I'm going to send you Reiki energy that's going to help invigorate I feel like we need to invigorate your heart and your sacral chakras. I'm going to send a lot of energy your way to sort of help unblock those things, okay? So just be present with me. Just try to sense the energy. All right, thank you so much, Group 3. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Path of Spirals Tarot. My name is Claire. You can find me here 5 days a week, so subscribe if you like that kind of consistency, if you've enjoyed my reading and the energy I give out. You can find me here. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Path of Spirals Tarot. You can find me at Gmail, pathofspiralstarot@gmail.com for business inquiries. I'm here for y'all, okay? I'm here for y'all. I love to connect. If there was something about this reading that really resonated with you, I'd love to hear it down in the comments. And thanks so much for being here today. I'm very, very grateful that you've been present with me. It's been so great to see my subscriber count go up every day. And just knowing that somebody's watching, somebody's resonating and tuning in, it really makes me motivated to continue every day as I sort of test out the waters of this new creative endeavor. I love to be here for y'all. It's been so great for my heart and puts me in a position of vocational work that feels very giving and feels very in alignment and gives me good energy. And I hope it gives you good energy too. Thank you so much for being here today. We'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.